I bet you didn't know Alcatraz is haunted by something with glowing red eyes. Welcome to the island's darkest secret. A name that chills the spine. It sits cold and foreboding in San Francisco Bay. The freezing waters and deadly currents made escape impossible. This island was a fortress, first a military outpost, then a prison. A place of confinement and harsh reality. The Rock, a symbol of finality. Before the federal penitentiary, it saw conflict and imprisonment. The ground feels heavy with human suffering. Imagine arriving by boat, city lights fading, hope draining. This was not just a prison. It was society's declaration of exile. In 1934, Alcatraz became the ultimate maximum security prison. The worst of the worst were sent here. Escape artists, incorrigibles, all meant to be broken. The rules were strict, the silence deafening. The island was a psychological weapon, ensuring no thoughts of freedom. Surrounded by icy waters, even if one escaped the walls, the bay was a formidable enemy. Fog often shrouds the island, adding to its mystique. It feels cut off from the world, a realm of despair. The sounds of the city, a cruel reminder of what was lost. This is Alcatraz. The federal prison era of Alcatraz, its darkest chapter. From 1934 to 1963, 29 years of concentrated misery. The government wanted an escape-proof prison, a symbol. Alcatraz was built to be tough and grim. Cold cell blocks, echoing corridors, amplifying desolation. Life inside was brutal, with strict discipline and few privileges. The infamous silence rule drove men mad. This place was designed to break you mentally and emotionally. The psychological impact was immense. Isolation, hopelessness, constant surveillance wore men down. Some succumbed to mental illness, others became withdrawn. The island seemed to feed on despair. Alcatraz was more than concrete and steel. It was an experiment in control. The human spirit is resilient, but even the strongest can be battered. Stories from Alcatraz speak of profound suffering. The echoes of that anguish are still there, in the empty cells, in the chilling wind. This fortress of despair holds its secrets tight, but sometimes they whisper back. Deep within Alcatraz lies a place of ultimate punishment. D Block, Cell 14D, the Hole. Solitary confinement, a descent into absolute darkness. A concrete tomb, stripped of everything. No light, no comfort. Inmates were thrown in for breaking strict rules. Imagine being locked in the hole, plunged into pitch blackness. The cold seeps into your bones, alone with your thoughts and fears. Time loses meaning. Minutes stretch into hours, hours into eternity. The sensory deprivation was a brutal tool, designed to break the will. Conditions were harsh, with a restricted diet and chilling air. The hole was about psychological torture, leading to hallucinations and paranoia. Men would scream, bang on the door, pray for release. Cell 14D has a reputation, even among other solitary cells. It feels colder, darker, more oppressive. Guards and inmates spoke of a palpable evil, a heavy presence. The hole was the heart of Alcatraz's darkness, where hope died. The legend of Cell 14D, the Hole, is terrifying. One story stands out, chilling to the core. An inmate in the 1940s, already on edge, began to scream, not just anger or frustration, but pure terror. He yelled that something was in the cell with him, something with glowing red eyes. Guards heard his frantic cries, used to noise, but this was different. The inmate kept screaming, pleading for help, describing the entity. Guards dismissed it as a man losing his mind in solitary, but his screams continued, echoing through the corridor. The next morning, silence. The inmate was dead, eyes wide with terror. Marks on his throat suggested strangulation, yet he was alone. The story of the red-eyed entity became a dark legend. Was it a hallucination or something more? A manifestation of evil? The red-eyed entity remains one of Alcatraz's most terrifying mysteries. D Block, known as the treatment unit, was a place of intense suffering. It housed solitary confinement cells, including the Hole. The atmosphere is heavy, colder, with sudden temperature drops. Visitors report a sense of being watched, overwhelming sadness and dread. This is ground zero for paranormal activity on the Rock. The design of D Block contributes to its oppressive feel. Long, dark corridors, thick steel doors, small, stark cells. The psychological torment inflicted here was immense. The energy of pain, fear, and despair lingers like a dark stain. Many believe spirits of those who suffered are still trapped, restless. Beyond cell 14D, other cells have chilling tales. Whispers, moans, crying, strange lights, and hostile presence. It's as if the collective misery created a vortex of negative energy. Investigators and psychics often come away shaken, encountering intelligent entities. The sheer concentration of suffering fuels the haunting of D Block. The guards of Alcatraz, tough men managing dangerous criminals, reported terrifying experiences. Hearing unearthly screams from empty cells, especially at night. These were not usual prison sounds, but chilling human screams. Imagine walking the lonely corridors, then a blood-curdling scream. Cells checked, empty, or inmates asleep, yet screams continued. This happened repeatedly, deeply disturbing the guards. Some tried to rationalize it, but the nature of the screams defied explanation. The screams seemed to move, as if an unseen torment unfolded. The psychological toll on guards was immense. Their testimonies paint a picture of a place deeply scarred by its past. The echoes of suffering manifest as audible cries of pain. Alcatraz holds on to its anguish, sometimes screaming it into the darkness. Beyond terrifying screams, other sounds haunted Alcatraz. Whispers, faint voices, seeming to come from nowhere. Sometimes hushed conversations, other times a single sigh or moan. These whispers are often heard in active areas. D Block, the hospital wing. Phantom footsteps, distinct on concrete, pacing, shuffling. Guards would hear footsteps, expecting to see someone, but find emptiness. These sounds had a cadence, as if routines continued by spirits. Cell doors slammed shut violently with no one near. Some guards reported being touched, a cold hand, a push. The volume of these accounts suggests a pervasive paranormal presence. The energy of tormented men seems part of the fabric of Alcatraz. The whispers, footsteps, slamming doors, echoes of lives in despair. Alcatraz housed America's most notorious criminals, adding to its haunted reputation. Al Capone, Scarface, spent his final years here, a shadow of himself. Reports say faint banjo music can still be heard, a ghostly melody. Robert Stroud, the Birdman, spent 17 years in solitary. His intense focus left an imprint, his spirit believed to linger. George Machine Gun Kelly, a model prisoner, affected by fear and hopelessness. The collective anguish of such men, their torment, fuels the haunting. Their powerful personalities and dark pasts add to the chorus of lost souls. The presence of infamous figures fuels legends, amplifying the chilling atmosphere. Their notoriety intertwined with Alcatraz's identity, their spirits bound to the place. Why does Alcatraz remain one of the most haunted places? The concentration of human misery is undeniable, seeping into the stone. The island feels like a magnet for darkness, with a somber power. The cold waters and fog add to the isolation, a world apart. The power of suggestion plays a role, but consistent reports suggest more. Too many have heard screams, felt cold spots, sensed presences. Alcatraz is an eternal lockdown for spirits trapped by intense suffering. The red-eyed entity, screams, footsteps, echoes of a brutal past. Alcatraz stands as a chilling monument, a testament to human cruelty. A place where the dead, it seems, still walk forever.